what we have here is this G&G LevAR that I've been building. It's a super fun platform to play with. I've got a lot of really cool attachments on it that I wanted to show. I like to play a lot of CQB. I like to play fast, so I have to switch arms a lot, and it's got to be able to hold up to a lot of aggressive gameplay, and I've got it built just for that. So I'm going to try to get the whole thing in frame here. Of course, we'll start with what we have on the outside. At the buttstock, we have this Do Work 3D stock adapter that I made. This one is for the 5KU stock specifically. There's also ones that I've made, I'll link in the description, for AEG buffer tubes and also Picatinny folding stocks. This is the 5KU fixed stock. It's got a rubber cheek riser on it, very sturdy, allows me to shoulder it fast, swap arms fast, reduces a lot of weight. Moving right along, we have it set up for gas right now with this gas valve. I have this CO2 adapter that I made that I used to have right here on the stock, just like this, when I had it HPA tapped, and I ran it with a 33 gram CO2 bottle. I have a Wolverine Storm Cat 5 regulator that I put a different fitting in and made my own HPA line, and made it really consistent. I could adjust the PSI, but right now we're just running gas, trying to get rid of the extra bulk. We've got our short stroke kit in here from Do Work 3D, the Colts 3D page that I have. Also have this trigger pull reducer to give it a hair trigger. If you can see right there, hardly any pull. Makes it a lot easier to hit your targets. Next up, we have this rear mag release delete that I made. It's on my Do Work 3D page as well. That allows you to stop the use of that rear mag release without having to actually change any parts. It's friction fit, pretty cool little deal there. It keeps you from having to accidentally knock the mag out when you're not trying to swap your shoulders. I've got this Defiance by Crytac mock bolt release. Just wanted it to be black and get rid of the stock gray one. The mags I like to run with it, I just run standard PTS EPM1 mags. They hold 250 rounds. You don't ever have to worry about reloading, and sometimes you like to grab those and put your hand right there when you're trying to aim. They work pretty well, no complaints. Sight mark red dot, really clear picture through the red dot, really wide point of view so you can pick out your targets real easily for CQB. I got rid of the dust cover. It got in the way. It was a pain. It had to go. Moving on up to the front, I've got an Aries Octarms Handguard. It fit really well with the stock upper, which is also metal. I needed a metal upper receiver, and it came with the stock one, so that worked out. Good job, G&G. This Aries Octarms, I believe it's a 7 or 8 inch handguard. It fit really well with the rifle. It didn't interfere with this weird block piece on it. The outer barrel is an ICS outer barrel, and I put this carbon fiber tube on it, and it just slides right onto it. Purely cosmetic. Just slides right onto it, and the tracer holds it in place. All right, now let's move to the internals. This is where things get pretty cool and also pretty hairy. When you pull out the lever, you got to be careful. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. There is a little steel ball back there. With a spring, it will pop out if you're not careful. Here's that steel ball. It's tiny, it's attached to a spring. It will go flying across the room if you're not careful. Here are the Do Work 3D short strokes that I made. They just pop right in and out. They turn the stroke into about a 40% stroke, as you can see here. To install them, it's pretty easy. Boom, that's it. As you can see, this is a very, very short stroke on this thing. It makes it a lot easier to use, a lot easier to rack. Without the short strokes, see how they just pop right out. Without the short strokes, here's what the stroke looks like. All the way back. Makes it very tiring to use. So the short strokes are huge. Link in description for these. They are the single best upgrade for your LevAR. If you don't have a 3D printer, I definitely recommend the Bristol-based Airsoft injection molded short strokes. They are the best short strokes on the retail market right now. Okay, let's take this thing apart. Here's the rear mag release delete from DoWork 3D. Just slides right in, friction fit, don't have to replace any parts, really easy to use. I've got some improved O-rings on this gas inlet where the gas goes from the grip into the nozzle itself. As you can see, this helps give things a better seal, gets rid of those nasty leaks, and helps just with the overall life of the gun. All right, this safety switch is a pretty interesting piece. What I did with this is it was really loose and didn't like to stay in place when I got it out of the box. So I actually took a high Kappa nozzle spring and cut it down to where it's a little stronger and longer than the stock one. And stuck it in there like that, and it helped out with the stiffness and made it a lot easier to use. I've also got an O-ring down in here that keeps things a little bit stiffer and keeps them from just flopping around in there. That was a nice little upgrade I did out of the box. All right, I've got an Angel Custom 601 inner barrel. It's stainless, and I actually cut it down to the length that I wanted. I'm not sure if you can see the cut marks there or not. It was 208 millimeters. I needed it to be just enough to where the sensor on the tracer was just in front of it, so I got the maximum length out of an inner barrel, and I wasn't sacrificing too much FPS from doing that. I've got the stock hop up, and I've removed the little ball that keeps it from, that makes it click. That allows me to get a little bit more precise adjustments. I've got the Quantum, the orange Quantum bucking in there, the 4U80 quad, I believe it's called. It's the best thing for the LevAR. It gives you straight shots, gives you good hop on all weights. I believe this is the best hop setup you can get for the LevAR right now. All right, this nozzle is the Waldo Dynamics adjustable nozzle. By far the best nozzle you can get for the LevAR on retail. I've got a DoWork 3D high flow nozzle on my store. If you got a 3D printer and you want to try that out, but I still use this. I love this nozzle. This one is actually the silver because it's a prototype. He sent this to me. He was nice enough to send this to me so I could test it out for him. It works great. You can adjust the FPS with that little knob in the back. Everything about this nozzle just works. I definitely recommend this. If you got a 3D printer, you can use the high flow nozzle. The stock LevAR nozzles are really tight, have a really tight bore. They have some now that have a wider bore, but by far they just don't surpass this nozzle in performance at all. This is definitely the best nozzle on retail for the LevAR, Waldo Dynamics. So what I did with this nozzle is I added some really small O-rings. As you can see, this one actually broke, so I need to replace it. I added some really small O-rings to the stock O-rings. See how small they are. I'll go get my O-ring kit and fix that here in a minute. That just helps to seal a little bit. It eliminates some of the wobble inside the chamber there. It allows me to get plus and minus 1 FPS variance when I'm shooting it. That's a little personal upgrade I did. I recommend it. You don't have to do it. It just helps your gas efficiency. It might be hard to see in this camera, but that second O-ring on this nozzle keeps things just above flush from the nozzle body. So it does give it a good seal. The one O-ring did fine. It seemed a little too flush to me. That's on the stock nozzle as well. That's just common. But that second O-ring gives you just a little bit better seal with no added resistance when racking the levers. So I definitely recommend that. It's optional. It's not needed, but it does give you a good consistency. Here's the trigger pull reducer that fell out. It just slides right in front of the trigger. It's a pretty simple mechanism. It just slides right in. It's got that little lip on it so you can pull it out with your fingernail when you're not using it. It gives you that hair trigger. Do work 3D, of course. Link in description. Okay, now we're going to break open this gearbox, this gearless gearbox. I added an O-ring right here. I know it doesn't really do anything. What it actually does is it helps the inlet, I guess you want to call it. It helps it stay in place. Helps seal up that little tight spot right there. Keeps everything kind of stable. You know, it's an optional upgrade. Okay, what we have here is the Do Work reinforced 3D printed tappet plate. This is one of my favorite things I made for the LevAR. This one is made specifically to fit the Waldo nozzle. As you can see, it is a very good fit. The stock tappet plate doesn't have this extra material here. It breaks often on people. So mine broke one of the first times I used it. I had a prototype short stroke I was using. It didn't have the over travel stop, this piece, and the only thing stopping it was the tappet plate. So that's how this piece was born here. You do have to take out this screw right here from the mag release and file it down about 0.5 millimeter for it to work, or else it will interfere, as you can see. This is the original reinforced tappet plate. There's a lot out there that are like it. They more than likely got the idea from this original right here. This was the first one. So pretty cool little thing there. Took a lot of work to get right. A lot of iterations, a lot of trial and error, and a whole lot of taking this thing apart. The other model I have online is the one with prolonged nozzle arms. It's got a little click. It can click into place. You can actually hear the nozzle click into place. That's for nozzles without the little steps right here, like the Waldo one has. He has this here so it doesn't spin and the wide window stays activated. The other tappet plate is for nozzles without that little step, and it just has a full groove in it. So whichever one works for you. This one will work for either the stock nozzle or the Waldo nozzle. However, I don't recommend using it with the stock nozzle because occasionally the stock nozzle would like to get caught inside the hop-up rubber and come off of the tappet plate. So I recommend using the one with the prolonged arms for the stock nozzle. This tappet plate is a whole lot stronger. It's got this extra material here. I've been using it for maybe 6 months now. I've never had an issue with it. I don't plan on changing it ever. It works great, works perfect, serves its purpose. Yeah, it's a good little upgrade. This piece right here is what sits on the hammer spring. I lost that piece not long ago, and I had a friend of mine on a Discord heavy recoil club that I met on there. He recommended to use a bit, like a screwdriver bit, and trim it down and file it down to make it fit. So what I did, I took it and I made it about 2 millimeters longer than stock, so it will activate that hammer harder and hit on the gas valve harder, hoping to give me more FPS and more consistency. I do believe it gave me some more consistency. FPS, I didn't know much of a difference in, but that was a cool little upgrade. That's a tough one to get right. That took some trial and error, but Fury of the Age on Heavy Recoil Club Discord on the lever action channel, thanks for the recommendation of using this. It worked well, and I didn't have to wait and order a new one from G&G. Okay, that completes my LevAR build. You've seen it all the way down to the last nut and bolt. This thing has been the funnest project. I definitely believe this is the best gun for tinkerers and people that like to create and make stuff and just tinker with their guns. I love this platform, G&G. You did a great job. I really hope to see another platform that's crazy like this come out soon so I can play with it too. Okay, now I'm gonna get back together and put all this together. Okay, got it all back together, back in one piece. You got to do a deep dive into my project I've been working on. G&G absolutely nailed it with this gun. They could have done it a bunch of different ways. They did it right, made it really customizable, a lot of fun to play with. It's weird, it's fun, it's unique. It's a really fun gun to use. Hopefully you were able to pick up a few things that you could do to your own LevAR. Some of these ideas are weird and unorthodox, but they work. They work for me at least. Feel free to comment with any questions you have. I'll do my best to get back with you.